New media technologies and revolutions and wars have always been closely connected. In 1517, Martin Luther published 95 Theses, which were to denounce the sale of indulgences, and were the start of the Reformation and the split of the Catholic Church into Protestant and Catholic. However, the emergence of the letterpress as a communication tool helped him in reaching out to more people and in multiplying his theses quickly. In 1844, the first telegraph was invented by Samuel Morse. Before, during and after the Civil War, the telegraph served to transmit information. Especially during the Civil War, the telegraph was highly used as a communication tool to communicate over great distances. In 1912, the radio was adopted by the US Navy. Radio communication was crucial for soldiers during the First World War in order to communicate with their allies. The development of the radio began as wireless telegraphy. In February of 2005, Facebook, a social media platform, was launched and has over 1 billion active users right now. It is one of the most relevant social media platforms, which is used for both gathering information and sharing personal data. In 2007, Twitter, an online social networking service and microblogging service, was launched and has about 500 million registered users. It is known as the SMS of the Internet.
On December 17, 2010, a 26-year-old Tunisian street vendor called Mohamed Bouazizi set himself on fire in front of the governor's office in protest of the police and government corruption. People around the Arab world considered Bouazizi a hero for his extreme actions, especially after his death on January 4, 2011. Protests spread in his hometown and quickly extended throughout Tunisia. The Internet proved invaluable to the proliferation of this movement through Tunisia and beyond, with social media sites like Facebook mobilizing protesters and Twitter spreading the message in spite of web censorship.
First of all, I have to say that the revolution hasn't started because of the existence of Internet instruments. The revolution started because people, they were hungry, they wanted a new democratic system, they were fed up with the government who was some kind of a dictatorship during several generations. That was the start of the revolution, not Internet instruments.
The one day, January 14th, where all the people gathered in the city center.
I took a photograph in such a way as to show how big the crowd was, stating Muhammad Ali Square now, it's happening now, this is the place to be.
Thousands of people gathering and protesting against the regime, but this process was such a fast process that I was not even aware of people mobilizing in the center. So yeah, this was a big surprise actually, and you see the force of social media websites to mobilize people, not only spreading the news, but also mobilizing people.
Social media played a key role. They were an alternative public sphere for the youth who were unable to express their opinions freely because the environment was controlled.
First of all, Tunisia was a country with a lot of censorship. For example, YouTube was not online; it was taking off. The government was also screening websites, even foreign websites.
Whatever messages we send, we know that they're going to the police. So our main tactic was to announce the decoy areas. The more areas that we announced, we thought that the more distributed the riot police would be.
So you were trying to trick the police to be in the wrong places?
Yeah, wrong places, and not even the wrong places, but try to trick them away from the big crowd.
Every time I saw a policeman on a corner, I would post it on Twitter. Be careful, don't take that street because it's full of policemen. Take this one, I'm going to try this one.
The internet instruments like Facebook and Twitter and Google Ads, they made it possible to inform within a couple of seconds thousands of young people that what happened in the central city of Tunisia. And that was new. It never happened before that you could, in a split second, inform thousands of people on the same moment what happens.
People can, of course, spread their discontentment very easily through Facebook. Citizens are becoming journalists themselves by writing articles and putting them on blogs or Facebook, etc. So in this case, through the use of mobile phones with cameras, people were aware of what was going on in the country. People would even send their footage to Al Jazeera, for example.
Police were looking for anyone filming to arrest them. We had people filming from the front line and from the rooftops. They weren't professionals, but they knew how to do it.
And within 5 minutes you reach more than 1,000 or 2,000 people. And it's like a big stream who is going over the city, and within half an hour everybody is there. That was the major impact of Twitter, Facebook, etc. So they didn't make the revolution, but it made it possible.
I think you could say it was a tool because not every revolution in modern history was triggered by Facebook, of course. We have seen revolutions in Eastern Europe, for example.
Looking at all the dictatorships in the Arab world, you could see them all as part of one single dictatorship. A collective consciousness emerged via the internet because the internet is immediate.
Imagine that you take hold of your wrist, that you tie a narrow piece of thread around it so that it stops the blood from circulating. Leave it on for 10 hours, and then suddenly release it and feel the blood surging through your veins. It was like that. It was something magnificent. It was indescribable. And at that moment, I felt like the freest man in the world.
شعبي اللي كان على حق وثور، نشوف الناس تتقاتل تنهب وتغور، ريت سحاب والريح تنفخ وتدور، حسيت الظلمة في الغفلة سرقت منا النور.